Our next topic is the positivity of trig functions. So trig functions will have a certain sign that's SIGN depending on what quadrant it's in. So all the trig functions are positive in quadrant 1. Sine is positive in quadrant 2. Tangent is positive in quadrant 3. And cosine is positive in quadrant 4. And people use the phrase a smart trig class to kind of memorize this, or all students take calculus. There's a couple others. So really the proof from this comes from the signs of the coordinates. And it's not even really a trig thing, because if you just look at any coordinate in the first quadrant, both the x and the y are positive. If you look at a ordered pair in the second quadrant, the x is negative, the y is positive. Third quadrant, x and y are both negative. Fourth quadrant, x is positive, y is negative. So because of how we define the trig functions with the unit circle, sine is the y value, and that's why it's positive in quadrant 2. Cosine is the x value, that's why it's positive in quadrant 4. And tangent is the y over x, which is why it's positive in quadrant 3. So they'll ask you to figure out if the value of the trig functions is positive or negative, and it really just depends on what quadrant you're in. So sine of 105, that is quadrant 2, and sine is positive in quadrant 2. Cosine of 105, it's the same angle, so same quadrant, but cosine is negative. So you would get a negative value. So they just want to know, is it going to be positive or negative? They don't want to know the exact value. So sine of 105 is positive, cosine of 105 is negative.